hosted at the National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, managed. It extends as a prominent agribusiness incubator in India, having guided 580 entrepreneurs and nurtured over 383 startups across various agri-related sectors. Our center has played a pivotal role in training startups in areas such as agro-processing, post-harvest technology, value addition, farm mechanization, animal husbandry, fisheries, dairy, commodity trading, supply chain management, and agri-consultancy. The center has provided unwavering support to agripreneurs, helping them refine their concept and expand their ventures. Today's session revolves around the theme of women empowerment and agripreneurship, the role of women in agri-startups. So we are delighted to have two esteemed speakers with us today. Our first speaker is Ms. Vandita Tiwari, ma'am. She is the founder of Women Empowerment Network Association of India. The organization supports women, startups, and existing businesses through training, seminars, exhibition, and assistance with registration like GST or FSSI. In parallel, they are also committed to various social causes, including providing meals to slum areas, food and ration donations, supporting education and healthcare, and offering eco-friendly products through Coco Wing. So Coco Wing specializes in eco-friendly gardening products and such as enriched coco peat powder, coir planter as an eco-friendly alternative to moss sticks, and jute grow bags. So with this brief introduction, I would like to hand over the session to ma'am. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
So can we have the presentation, please?
Sure, ma'am. Yeah. Mr. Saru, please share the presentation.
So while the presentation is coming up, namaskar everyone. I'm Vandita Tiwari, and as you heard the introduction, I'm into multiple places where we can help the women entrepreneurs and women in startups. And I'll say this is a remarkable month, and in recent times we have witnessed a significant milestone in women empowerment, culminating in the passage of Nari Shakti Vandanam Abhinayam bill in Indian Parliament. After 76 years of independence, if we are bringing this bill, it also acknowledges that still the women need the space what they deserve. And that's why this women empowerment is so much needed. So next slide, please. Having said that, if I compare India, which is a developing nation, and in developing nation also, India has seen women prime ministers and women presidents. While a developed nation like US has never had a woman president. So we definitely feel proud that we are working towards and our steps are right into empowering the women. And it definitely contrast the us with the this contrast definitely fill us with the pride and underscores our progress toward empowering women. When we talk about women and their business or their jobs or anywhere, we have seen there has been society, whether it comes to agriculture or any other level, and women work has never been that has got never got that priority. It's always family and other responsibilities which comes and later her. So it's very difficult to bring out women from that household and bring them to the stage where they can take the responsibilities, and it takes a lot of our energy and motivation to bring them out from there. Especially talk about agripreneurship. So India, being an agriculture country, has often marginalized the role of women, and because of the deep-seated patriarchal norms, despite agriculture being the center of our society. Next slide, please. And in today's world, when the world is grappling with the global challenges such as climate change and melting of glaciers, agripreneurship has emerged as a thriving line of business. And not only it's a thriving line of business, it has become a necessity also. And in past agriculture revolutions driven by chemical fertilizers, they've definitely boosted the productivity, but concurrently deteriorated the natural quality of the soil. On a large scale, if I talk about my endeavor, Cocoa Wings comes into play there only. But yes, at Cocoa Wing, next slide, please. At Cocoa Wing, we understand that the mother nature, whatever it brings to the environment, it is all useful. And what we are doing at Cocoa Wing is we are trying to give back all those natural qualities back to the soil and bring the soil with the same, and revive the soil, I will say, with the same qualities which it used to have before. Our journey, if I talk about whether for When India or for Cocoa Wing, we have focused mainly on Cocoa Wing. I'll say that we have focused on three aspects which we have found that has been neglected by the society. Next slide, please. The first focus of ours was definitely the undervalued aspect of society, that was the capacity of a woman, how capable they are. And to aid the villages. They were uneducated, they didn't had much confidence. We brought them in to help work with us, and it has not been easy because they come with multifaceted responsibilities. And hello.
Yes, please continue, ma'am.
Network issue is there, I think.
Yeah, I'm audible, right?
Yes,
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 I lost
ma'am.
the connection. Okay,
Yes.
there was a glitch. Okay. So these women who comes from villages have multifaceted responsibilities to take care of. We have to convince them that if they work, if they come out of their family, if they come and join us, we can help them to bring food to their table for their family. We can help them in their medical expenses. We can also help them in the education of their children. And definitely we have seen that when we try to help these women, then they also try to focus on education of their girls. That we find it as one of the best part or best achievement from our end. But yes, as I told, we are focused on two more aspects. And the other aspect from our side is that when people think of mentally challenged people, they don't have much space to work in the society. We connected with a support group where we are able to provide a regular income source to these mentally challenged people by outsourcing our work from Cocoa Wing to make the talking soil tablets. And the third neglected part, which everybody, I think, are now talking about, is the soil. We feel that soil is the crux of everything, whether we talk about plantation, whether we talk about the living being, everything, the soil is connected. So soil became our focal point, and we gave it a tagline as "Let's Talk Soil." At Cocoa Wing, we primarily address the issue, which is the nutrient management for the soil. So we nourish the soil with organic materials, and when these plants absorb the organic material, the level of the soil reduces. And in a way, we are able to, or the plant is able to communicate to the gardener that it needs more nourishment. And that's why we call our soil as talking soil. In addition to talking soil tablets, we offer the talking soil in powder form as well. And we introduce the jute grow bag. Can I have the next slide, please? So our jute grow bags are the alternative to plastic and ceramic pots. What I will like to add up here is when we are having a woman power associated with us, and definitely all the women have a vision which goes a broad way, because when they are taking care of their home, there are multiple places in the home, from kitchen to drawing room to living room, where it broadens their attention. Same way with our women in Cocoving, we understood, or I will say my staff understood, my laborers understood that only the soil was not the need of our customer, and we brought up the jute grow bag, which are addition to our catalog. And jute grow bags, they are a replacement to plastic and ceramic pots. They give space for roots and plant soil to breathe, to result in a healthier plant. And our journey has taken us from startup to growing enterprise. Here I feel that I am more responsible now, because we have multiple women associated with us, and our growth also relates to their growth. So if as Cocoving we grow, we also help these women to grow and support their family more and more. So on our growth mission, we are from startup stage, we have moved to the growing enterprise. Next slide, please. And with our women associated, our thought process working out for a faster growth, we are now serving our retail customer through our ONDC compatible website, and we are available on Amazon, we are available on Mintori, and we are on multiple social media channel like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And we have also fulfilled, that was a great boost to our women group. We have also fulfilled 2 orders to Bhutan. So when we talk about business, the growth prospect of it, women always, we are always thinking of how to progress more. And retail is not the only space where we are limited to. So we expanded ourselves to bulk or wholesale as well. And in that part, when we talk about bulk business, we got some corporate orders. So those corporate help us to provide in bulk like 500,000 quantities. Also, our women are able to do it now. And our product also captivated the interest of individual customers, making them ideal choices for housewarming gift, birthday party gift, and thoughtful presents for
Ma'am, you can switch off your camera. I think this network.
There is a network issue.
Yeah.
Side. I think ma'am is having some network issue. So while she's reconnecting with us, I request all the participants to, if you have any questions or you have any doubts or anything you want to ask, you can share them in the chat box. We will go through them later, and we can discuss in the end of the session, or else you can raise your hand also if you want to talk with the speaker um, on personally. Okay, ma'am is joined.
Ma'am, you can switch off your camera. I think there's some technical glitch. So if you can switch off your camera, I think the bandwidth will increase.
hello.
Yes, ma'am. You are
Yes,
audible.
ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay, I don't know, some glitch, I just logged out of it. So
It's okay, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am.
okay, so I think I was telling about the bulk, the corporate orders and all.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So our ladies also understood how we can expand our market, and we tried to project ourselves for the housewarming gift and the birthday gifts and etc. And we, with the progressive mind we are having and the team we are having, we are expanding our reach, and we are trying to contact contact the corporates and educational institute, which generally offer a bouquet with a polythene sheet or plastic pot or ceramic pot as gift to their speakers. We are trying to replace it with our jute grow bags. So our path to success has been filled with hurdles. But yes, the right motto and the dedicated team, we are unstoppable. And I say my energy all comes from the women who are behind me, because they have an energy to drive from their household. They know what they can bring to their family now working with us. And we take one step at a time, but we are continuously moving towards our destination and the progress. And next slide, please. To close with, I will say I am thankful to Angru and RARS Tirupati and Manage team for giving us the opportunity to talk about our women and our and help me to put my views about it. And let's pledge that we can keep our gardens green and environment clean. And we should all remember, if we empower a woman, she will empower the society. So that's the strength of a woman. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We really appreciate your contribution toward the women empowerment, and your view on agripreneurship and the global challenges are really, it will motivate us a lot. Also, Cocoa Wing is playing an important role in creating the opportunities for the neglected part of the society. Also, you focus on the nutrition management, which is very important for the urban farming. And your journey will really motivate us and our participants. So thank you so much for the wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you. So there are so many questions, ma'am. So with your permission, can we take those questions after the next session, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
Sure. So I'd like to request my colleague Pragya to introduce our next esteemed speaker. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So our second speaker for today's session is Miss Manjari Sharma, ma'am. She is an alumna of IIM Calcutta. She is an impactful entrepreneur leading Farm Didi. Farm Didi is a food tech company dedicated to empowering over 1 million rural women while providing high quality food products to consumers. Their network spans 2,500 over more than 2,500 rural women from more than 45 villages, producing exceptional pickles, pampers, and chutneys. So, with this introduction, I would like to hand over the session to ma'am.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, so thank you so much for the warm introduction, and really loved the previous session as well. From Ms. Manda, I myself is a bit of gardener, so I'm also looking forward to those jute bags where I can grow my plants. Let me just speak about a bit of Farm Didi and share my story with you in context with the women empowerment. I'm sharing screen. Let me know if that is available.
Yes, ma'am.
It's visible now. Screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Screen is visible now.
I think there's some issue with my network. Just give me a sec.
Ma'am, should we share the screen from our side? We do have your PPT. Okay. Mr. Saurabh, please share the screen.
Kindly share the PPT to me. Actually, I didn't receive PPT.
I just joined back. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, awesome. Sorry for the delay. Okay, like it was mentioned, Farm Didi is a food tech startup to provide high quality food product by empowering at least 1 million rural women. That's a picture from a couple of SSGs that we are working with. This is the Kuldabad Taluka in Aurangabad where we started. My background, I come from Haryana, studied in Delhi, worked in technology background in Infosys Wipro, and then did my MBA. And post that, I worked with AT Kearney as a management consulting firm, and then started my startup Farm DD. I think for me, the biggest moment happened when I interacted self-help group women for the first time, especially in Bihar in May in 2016, where there were a lot of villages where only women were there, and feminization of agriculture was completely seen there. There were men had moved to to cities for work, while women were driving all the agriculture-related activities like taking care of their families, taking care of agriculture, household, agriculture work, waking up at like 4 a.m., fetching water, etc. So they were doing everything. And wherever I went, though I was just a student like you guys, but they were always asking me, कि दीदी हम और क्या कर सकते हैं? What else we can do to increase the income, etc. And honestly, I was pretty much clueless to what to answer to them. I did not know, and I could give very random answers. But that I in fact, so I was very by the way they were able to do multitasking, their enthusiasm, energy they had, and yet looking for additional opportunities for their families was something really exciting to me. And when I dig down to deeper, I realized that 85% of rural women are engaged in agriculture, be it directly or indirectly. They are already into agriculture right activities, and feminization of agriculture is a big trend, not just Bihar, but in the other states as well. And this is the photo of one of the World Bank meeting that I attended, where
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
I come from.
We are not able to see
Yeah,
your screen, ma'am.
not able to see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's really bad, actually. It says I cannot share the content. The co-host has to make me presenter.
Saurabh, can you make ma'am co-host?
Okay.
Now we can
Is
see
it
something.
this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay, this is the photo I was talking about,
Right.
where I attended the World Bank meeting with SSGs for the first time. It was pretty much 15 minutes meeting, and they had cut short agenda with 4 or 5 points. Every woman had their opinion, and they discussed the matter and closed in. While I come from a corporate background, and I've seen that we basically sit for an hour-long meeting and nothing concrete happens. But that was because these women were they had to go back and look after their families, and they had only very short time to attend that meeting, so they were pretty much clear on what has to be established in the meeting and what not to be. And for me, it was very much surprising that in the context of rural women, there is a growing network of self-help group women. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of what is SHG. SHG is basically a community of 10 to 20 women members where they come together, and they work with government and the banks and establish bank account for themselves, and learn how to save money, and they actually together as a group save money, and even provide loans to each other. This is a major objective of this program is to build the financial inclusion and help women learn the importance of saving money. And but now this SSG has grown from just the not just the bank saving or uh, from the bank same thing, but now it has grown to become how can these SCG women now become entrepreneurs. And government has been really much providing or support in terms of policies and system in order to help these SHG women become entrepreneurs. And even Mr. Prime Minister Modi announced that he is aiming and he's visioning that every rural woman should be part of these SHG groups. And the focus is huge, and you can see that in with respect to women empowerment, with respect to our rural women, this SHG is a big trend. And you would be surprised. We always talk about FPOs, FPCs. There might be 10 or max 20,000 FPOs, FPCs. Majority might not be operating, but there are more than 75 million plus SHGs that exist in India, and they're growing like crazy. Perhaps this number might be 78 million now. And in terms of why the context of rural women and women empowerment is very important, and what the reason why this makes a very exciting objective in area for me is that when a rural woman earns money, 90% is reinvested in our family as compared to 35% in case of men. So when I say reinvest in terms of better education of their children, better health, better nutrition for their children, a better home, and there are many things, right? So it was clearly understood to me that if we have to help, take our economy forward, if we have to take our rural economy forward, we have to reinvest in women so that that money can be invested into the families in terms of better future. So, and I think it's very important that we start looking at women empowerment seriously. Uh, there is 134 million extreme poor in India, and this number doubled after the pandemic, right? And it is clearly established a fact that there is a 35% dip in 34% dip in household poverty if a woman is working. And as you know, 90% is already invested in the family. So women empowerment is clearly directly related to poverty reduction and economic empowerment. So while I was working with, so there was a company, KT Carney, I joined post MBA. I realized that while I was working with CXOs of the world, solving large problems for them, helping them get better revenues or better profitability, but that question, Didi or kya kar sakte hain, that was asked to me by many of Didi stood with me, and I realized that maybe yes, this is a topic I should be working with. I already know that if you work for women, you're working for the economic empowerment. If you work for women, you are working for holistic development of society. So my another hypothesis that I want to test that okay, if how do I help women, right? So the hypothesis was, can loans be given so that they can economically empowered, right? And I had studied great examples of Grameen Bank, Bandhan Bank, a lot of SKS banks, etc., who are providing loans. But then this time I actually kind of researched Maharashtra SHGs a lot, and then the thing Maharashtra SHG said that okay, दीदी loan मिल जाते हैं but marketing नहीं मिलती. I saw many examples where women have taken loans to buy cattle, but they did not know how to sell milk, where to sell milk, how to sell ghee, what price, to whom, right, and things like that. They were not able to scale their business. They might have taken one cattle, but how do I grow my business? They did not know. We also saw there were a couple of DVs who had bought papad making machine, but they did not know how to package it, how to price it, where to sell it, what are distribution margins, nothing. Zero understanding of marketing and sales. The marketing of the SSG products was a huge issue. There are a lot of exhibitions you might have gone where SSGs might be selling their products, but honestly, that exhibition happens once a year, and that is also sponsored by the government. There is no other avenue for them to market their products, and no understanding of whatsoever. So when pandemic happened, I realized that. There are more jobs that are needed in rural India than ever, and I was pretty much inclined to work towards this initiative to help rural women earn money. Is what I really thought, and I left my job and I used to stay in a village called Kuldabad, the photo I showed you earlier, which I think some of you were not able to see. So I shifted to Kuldabad in Aurangabad, where I stayed and understood how SHGs work, what do they do, and what are their psyche, what are the problems, crowd level challenges, etc. I realized that one thing I learned, that rural food is amazing. The food of rural India is amazing. I think in cities we have forgotten how the real food tastes like. You will find a lot of preservatives, chemicals. The food might be sitting on the retailer chains or their shelves for I don't know, for many months before it comes to you. But in rural India, you get to eat fresh food. Also, I understood that food is the core profession of rural women. They are already into agriculture, or they are into food marketing, or they are into some food labor or agriculture labor. So this is something their, natural, their profession is something that we should involve. Also, I saw there were a lot of inefficiencies in supply chain. For example, in that village I was staying, I bought besan at 130 rupees kg, and that was coming from a Nasik factory in Aurangabad. However, the villagers were already growing chana, and they were selling at 25 rupees kg to the middlemen, right? So chana has to be processed into besan. It's simple grinding, right? But 25 rupees kg, and I was, can I get that 25 rupees kg to myself, or maybe 50 rupees from the from the farmer, and get it milled, right? I would eat better besan for sure. But I was eating besan from a factory in Nasik, right? So base that chana might have traveled between so many third people, and then it went to factory in Nasik. So there were a lot of food miles also happening. At the same time, I saw there was a huge wastages also that happens in food. For example, let's say chana was grown in a family, in a farmer's house who is just owning 1.5 acres. That's the average land holding in India village today. But he does not have a place to store that chana he has grown. What he will do is he will store all the chana in his house, and house would be just 1 or 2 rooms. That's all. So he will be always in a hurry of selling that chana, because he just wants that to be out of his house, because he need his house for his normal day-to-day activities also. But in the process of doing that, there will a lot of, you will find a lot of chanas get scattered around the village, wasted in the process of coming from that house to house, from that field to house, and then it will go to many middlemen. Again, some chanas will be wasted. Again, you will find a lot of chanas being hoarded in mandis, where there might be a rain, might be animals playing around it, or it will get wasted there also. You will be surprised, more than 40% of food that is produced today get wasted in the supply chain itself. So that's a huge issue. And I realized that, can can that food, that chana to basin process, can that happen at farm gate, right? What will that do is, wherever that chana is manufactured, the basin is made there itself, right? There will be zero wastage. Almost 40% wastage will not happen, right? Also, the farmer will be selling it at a better price. The basin that you will eat will be also better quality, right? So it was clearly coming out of it was clearly coming out that food manufacturing or processing into final good has to happen at farm gate, and it is a tremendous opportunity. It's a tremendous area to look at. For example, everyone has heard of India's success in IT industry, right? So what has happened in IT industry was, in India there was a cheaper labor to process the software, and to make the software, right. In India there was cheaper internet connectivity. Infrastructure is also cheaper there as compared to developed countries like US. That is the reason why Infosys, TCS, and IBMs of the world, and even other companies of the world are establishing their software centers in India, because it's all very cheaper than what it could have happened in US and Europe. And similarly, can food be processed in at the farm gate? No, there is a cheaper electricity. There are a lot of subsidized rates of other infrastructure related utilities that is available in rural India. People are looking for job opportunities there. There are women who are seeking for better opportunities, right? And this is the core profession of rural India. So why not? Can this food processing at farm gate is a huge potential, and that was the main synthesis. But then in India, where you can see food is a huge opportunity. Actually, 500 billion market, 70% unorganized. If you happen to see how food is manufactured, you will never eat it. And yet, farmers are losing margin. Farmers produce is getting wasted. So there's a huge opportunity to work in food industry processing at farm gate. And what will that happen? What will that create as an impact? Threefold impact. A, the farmers, of course, they will be getting better price, they will be getting more skilled, they will be their share in the food value chain would also increase, there will be more jobs in rural India. Not just that, this is a sustainable food processing that will happen. Your food will travel less, right? Your processing will be happening at source, and yet the consumers would also get a better food quality product. And if your farmers are trained rightly manner, you will also get food safety compliance in your food products that will happen, which is not happening in India, because this food safety compliance is a very vast open topic which no one is actually aware. So there's a huge potential of food processing at farm gate level, and that's what Farm Didi does. You can see a picture of Didi who's making a pickle, right? So what Farm Didi does is we are processing our pickles and chutneys at farm gate. So the taste is very fresh. We are not using any chemical preservatives. We are using traditional recipes themselves, and then the quality of product the consumers are getting is also better. We have implemented traceability, which is allowing a customer like you to understand from where the food came from, which didi made it, which village it was made. And then food, we also provide those pictures and details of food packaging, the quality of food safety and hygiene, etc., so that you are also assured of quality, which you will not get in any other pickle brand today. And our DVs get trained on their food safety hygiene through the mobile app, and customers get traceability, and everything is available direct to the consumers through our platform, website, Amazon, Flipkart, Big Basket, and other retail. We are also present in Pune retail outlets. So like Kaka Halwai and the Rabji, etc., where you can find our products. We are aligned with five SDG goals today, mostly centered around women empowerment and also about responsible consumption and production, as I mentioned. So this is a snapshot of one of our product, mango pickle. We are using traditional recipes. We have actually launched more than 20 pickles and chutneys today, and we are centered around three major cluster in Maharashtra. And we also are the youngest startup who have done an MoU with Maharashtra government, with National Urban Livelihood Mission and Maharashtra State Livelihood Mission. Uh, so this is just one of the case of Farm Didi. I hope you also figure out some ideas and enable that processing at farm gate. So I really look forward to meet entrepreneurs in this area and perhaps maybe competitors. So all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And that's a great informative session. And your contribution in empowering, SHGs in India is really good. And also, you focused on if a woman is working, so the graph of poverty will go down drastically. And also, you focus on one problem like loan to mil jata hai, lekin marketing nahi milta. And you're focusing on marketing side, how to do the food processing at the farm gate level. So it's the work which you have done is really good, sir, ma'am. And your journey will really motivate all our participants. And also, you left your well-paid job and working toward the rural development as well as women empowerment. It will really motivate us. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. So we have some questions in the chat box. So I just go through one by one. And if somebody is looking for want to ask question, please raise your hand. So we will unmute them, and you can directly ask questions from our speakers. So first question is from Bala Murugan. Ma'am, how to get in touch with you? And if I want to make portable, they are focusing on milk products and and some Koa machine. So they want to get in touch with you. So how to get in touch with you? So ma'am, details are there already there in the chat box. So we have posted contact details. So you can directly reach out to them, and madam will be happy to help you. And also, there's one more question. If they want to collaborate with you, so what is the, how they can collaborate with you? And if also, they have some kind of innovative idea and how to take it forward. So there's another question, ma'am. So if you can just answer that. Any ma'am, Manjiri ma'am, if you can want to answer this. If somebody wants to collaborate with you, so what is the best?
Yeah, sure. Definitely, you can drop an email to me and we can discuss what kind of collaboration it is, and if I can help, and if not, I can help you route through, somebody else who is doing that particular area or is into something else, right? So it's suitable to you.
Okay. There's another question in the chat box. What are the schemes is there for women to start agripreneur from government side? So is there any schemes for that? So
Yeah, definitely. This PMFME scheme is there, which is especially for SGs or FPOs, in fact, as well, where if they are into food manufacturing or they are setting up their food processing units, so I think they get around 35% of kind of, or maybe up to 50% of subsidy, and they get loans at a very subsidized interest rates. So yeah, that's a great scheme, and majority of our SHGs have taken that scheme as well. And we are now working out with the government to figure out how that could be, done in a better or in a more scalable manner. Because again, the problem was the marketing was not there, right? Even if they have established their businesses, but there was no marketing. So with Farm Nidhi into the picture, they are also getting that market linkage partner while they are establishing the processing units. So that's a great opportunities for SHGs.
okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Mr. Rohit Singh, you have raised your hand. You want to ask some question? Mr. Saurabh, please unmute Mr. Rohit Singh. Yeah, Mr. Rohit Singh, you there? I think he's not there. So do you have any question? You can raise your hand and I will unmute you so you can ask questions directly. Yeah, Mr. Abdul, please unmute Mr. Abdul. Yeah, Mr. Abdul, please ask your question.
Question is that we have faced a lot of schemes are coming for the startups, for the uh, self-help groups and women entrepreneurs. But I feel that a lot of corruption is also there through the government. So how can we tackle these types of corruption kind of thing? So whenever other people, they are getting benefits of the scheme because they are giving something to the approving authorities. So we could not able to give something, the benefits to them. So we were running behind the officers since long time. So no benefits were approved to us, even though our problems were genuine. So how to tackle this one? It looks like a big disease for the for the women entrepreneurships in this field.
Manjiri ma'am, you are on mute, ma'am.
Okay, so honestly, I'm also facing the same challenge. So I don't have the answer, but I think maybe the work has to stood well. For me, I think a lot of times the government themselves has also approached us because they came to know about us from some or other person, and then they also wanted to help. But I also saw the kind of policies, they're little complicated to be implemented, and it's not easy to navigate also, given the requirements are kind of designed in that way. So honestly, if I'm also struggling, not so yeah, the bureaucracy is there, but at the same time, these are kind of complicated policies as well. So um, so if I'm able to navigate, I'm sure I'll ping you as well. Feel free to share me, ping me for that. Yeah. Maybe Vandita can help. I don't have the answer for this.
I'll also add up to the same thing. I'll say it's a luck. Sometimes we get some genuine officers which really help us in filling the form, submitting all the documents. But yes, as Manjari mentioned, it is not very easy to, though schemes are available, but to reach to the end user, it's not that easy. So I'll say just if you are trying in one bank, it's not working out, bank in that, because we have seen that some of the officers really try to help. With you can say it from private or public bank, but some officers are really good. So it's just luck if you get a dedicated officer over there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Mr. Dhananjay, please unmute Mr. Dhananjay. Yes, sir. Please ask your question, sir.
Question is, are you in contact or in collaboration with Krishi Vigyan Kendras? And number two is, are you taking benefits of PMFME scheme? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So the first, I'm sorry, I'm not aware of Vigyan Kendra, so we haven't explored the collaboration yet.
Your voice is inaudible, please.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes, better.
Okay, so we haven't explored the collaboration with the Vigyan Kendra one, the first one you asked. So please do ping me on email. I will be happy to look
In
at
all
it.
all the district, Indian Council of Agriculture Research has Krishi Vigyan Kendras. It's a center sponsored project.
So that's something I'm aware, but I haven't figured out any collaboration
to approach
opportunity.
the respective district where you are working.
Okay, okay.
And second, there is a scheme, Prime Minister Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises. Are you taking
I'm
benefit
aware
of
of
that?
that. Yeah, I'm aware of that, but that scheme is not applicable for us. And if it is applicable, the scheme is so complicated that we won't be
No,
able to do.
it is not complicated. It is a very simple scheme, and there you can also work as the promoter of that scheme. And per startup, one can get.
Yes, a scheme is, yes, good on paper, but I've spoken with multiple layers. It's not applicable. So happy to share it and again discuss it on 101. I don't think that scheme discussion would help.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Please unmute window. Yes, please ask question. It's a window.
They were very interesting and very helpful. Again, thank you so much. Two questions. One, if you look at the women empowerment within the household versus men, I wanted to learn from you how you prepare the husbands or spouses of these women so that they support them as they move forward in the economic empowerment. How do you prepare the men or the husbands to support their wives or women as they undertake the enterprises? Second is with the success that you have shared with us, what would you consider as key drivers to your success? What are these probably just three key drivers to your success? Thank you.
Anita, you want to start that answer? I'll also join.
Yeah. So I will say to prepare the husband, I mean, and we have to prepare the society to accept it. And as I mentioned in my presentation, that the woman's work is not given the priority, and that priority has to be set by the woman. If the people, if she says that my work is the priority, the slowly the family will change, and they will understand. Because as per a woman, the priority is always the home and other responsibilities than her work. So that change has to be brought by the women. And as these challenges are faced by women, they have to stand up for it. We have to be more strong. And as I mentioned that when we work with women, we have to keep on doing something to keep motivating them every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, and then tell them that what all they can benefit, their family can benefit with their work. That is how they become strong. And if they get confident, the family also starts supporting. And the key factor is that the self motivation is there. And other thing is, as I mentioned, that now I feel that I am more responsible to expand my business, because I know that there are 9 more women whose family we are supporting. And if we don't progress or we delay our progress, those 9 families will suffer. So we take that responsibility and we move forward.
Okay, to add to Vandita, I think it's a very good question. My first interaction with the SHGs I mentioned in Bihar, and where Nitish Kumar government had invited us to, evaluate the state of women empowerment in Bihar. And one of the major recommendation that came out of that research was women will not be empowered unless men are empowered. So the training of women was very important, yes, for the empowerment, but training of men were equally important to empower the women as well. So fundamentally speaking, you will always see wherever men is really supportive, is helping the daughter and the women, the wife will be very much empowered. They will be very much confident about themselves. So it's a known established thing. So yes, man has to be supportive. In my startup also, when I was starting up initially, when I figured out some SDGs, I learned that women were interested, but men was not interested in seeing women were doing some jobs or earning some money. I remember there was discussion of pricing was happening and women aligned on something, but the men was not aligned, and men started beating his wife at his home. So those complications are there, and it's there. So I think this is something cannot be solved in one go. Of course, training and awareness is very, very important. Sharing the good case in point so that men also understand, yes, women can be taking decisions, women can be running their businesses, women can act as like any other individual in the society. However, the trainings and awareness is one thing, but this is something it will take some time. And we are also doing our step by step manner. We are not at this point in time, we don't have that much capacity to train men. However, if we can join hands with some other institution who can help the awareness and spread the training, that will be also helpful. And over a period of time, when men will see women are doing really good, and yes, women can take good decisions, right? So after maybe 10 or 20 years, the things will be far become better. So that's my learning out of it. I think the other thing you said about critical levers, right, for the success. I think for enterprises like us, right, I think that building trust at ground level is very important. And then because rural India will always take everyone outside their rural or outside their village as an outsider. They will not trust that person and will not let you enter your village and work, right? So that trust building, and it takes a lot of time. It's not a one-time thing. So building that trust, implementing transparent policies, pricing mechanism, etc., is very, very important if you have to work in rural India. Like I cannot pay one Didi a different commission or another Didi another commission, because they will talk and eventually you will be at loss, not those SSGs or villages. So the trust building will be like, establishing those transparent policies, processes, communications, etc. So that is a major lever for the and then other thing is trust. It has to be consistent. It is not just you do it for a year, you have to do it for years to come, right? And it's very taxing, it's very difficult, but yes, that's the most important critical success factor in such scenarios. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So there's another question in the chat box: how to convert such kind of startup in FPC?
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not aware of this thing.
Okay.
I haven't explored it for myself, so I don't think I'll be right person.
Okay, no problem. So we can answer that. Both the thing is having the separate entity. Startup is different. FPC is different, which is farmer producer company. So please ping me personally. I will explain you in detail how to go about it. So any more questions? You can raise your hand and ask questions. I don't think we have any questions, ma'am, and thank you so much for this wonderful session. So, we just have to give some kind of information to our participants. We are going to launch a fifth batch of our digital marketing course, which is online program for 2 weeks. So link is there. You can register yourself, and it's a to complete 2 weeks online course. So it will benefit you a lot in your startup. So please apply for that. Registration link is there in the chat box. Also, we have posted the link for the feedback for this session. So please feel free to fill that application form. Accordingly, we can work on our areas if you want certain type of information, or you're looking for some kind of a specific session. So we can organize that as well. So we have given the complete details of the speakers today, their contact details. So feel free to reach out to them if in case you need any kind of further information. And also we will email you the PPTs which they have presented today. So you will get an email with all the details. Also, please go to our social media handlers. Please follow, for regular updates. Also, you can register yourself for our upcoming webinar. So again, we are going to have a webinar next week. So you can register yourself. So you will keep getting the updates. And thank you so much on behalf of entire MoA CIA team. I'd like to thank you for taking the time out for this webinar. And thank you so much, ma'am, for this great session. It's a really informative and very effective session. So once again, on behalf of entire team, we thank you for your presence. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So Saurav, you can end the session now.